We are at Amboy Snack and Drinks. This is a typical location of why you have the Padlocks to Protect and why the mayor thought they had the enforcement done in the city. This location here is everything that we envision endangers our community. It's packaged towards kids. They had flour, they had THC vapes, they had flavored vapes. And if you look inside this window, you see they had games where the kids come into and party inside here and spend time. But at the same time, they're selling them cannabis and cannabis products. So this is part of Padlock to Protect, and what we're able to say as of today is that in Staten Island we would have executed inspections at 100% of the locations in Staten Island as of this moment, and we'll continue to do ongoing operations. And I say that the locations change as we close down locations. New locations will open up, but the community's complaints are what drive our enforcement, and we appreciate that. We want to encourage them to continue to share the information with us because they see when it's happening firsthand. They know when their kids are going into these illegal locations, and we value that information and the importance of it. So at this point, I want to turn it over to New York City Mayor.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I want to really thank the commissioner and the sheriff for their collaboration and coordination. But most importantly, I want to thank the Staten Island Borough President. Vito Fossella has been really talking about this, and we committed to him as soon as the law was passed that we would come out to Staten Island and zero in on those locations that we believe is just really bringing down the quality of life of our communities in general, but specifically here on Staten Island. You know, there's a real OD issue around fentanyl and other drugs. Staten Island has always had this issue, and we don't want cannabis to add to this. I cannot thank you enough, VP, for really bringing in our entire team to look at this issue. We're going to look at some other locations, but I don't know if it was lost on what the sheriff stated. 100% of the illegal locations have been inspected. Some of them have been closed down, but this site here really personifies what we are talking about. They're using games, they're using colors, they're using appealing items to bring in our young people, and our young people may come here to play a video game. Next thing you know, they're on the pathway of using cannabis, and they are feeling the other products as being acceptable, the gummy bears, the colorful coloring. And this adds to what happened yesterday, and the sheriff should go into that as well. The location we found yesterday that actually had a printing press, printing labels, forgery type labels of stating that the product is coming from California. This is how sophisticated this entire operation is. It was crucial that we were able to get this legislation passed in Albany because the tidal wave was moving so fast, and if we didn't get this passed, but we were able to use the manpower of Commissioner Caban and the New York City Police Department, this would have gotten out of control. Getting the legislation, having the partnership with the police department, the manpower, the collaboration of our police precincts, the entire professional apparatus that is needed. This is allowing us to close down these locations, conduct the inspection, and we have to stay on top of these guys. These guys are sophisticated, they're smart, they're using different techniques. They have their own legal team that is taking us to court. They want to tie us up. They are going to fight as hard as we're fighting for the children and families of the city. They're going to fight even harder in their minds to protect their profits. We're not going to allow profits to be over public safety. We are going to stay committed to closing down these illegal shops. And we're seeing, because we're closing them down, we're seeing the actual industry, the legal industry, is now growing. Because we're closing down the illegal apparatus, the legal entity is growing what it was intended to do in the first place. So I want to turn it over to, just a good friend and a great public servant, the Borough President of Staten Island, Borough President Fossella.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So the people who own these facilities are both deceptive and dangerous. They're deceptive because, as you can see, the signs, candy, soda, snacks, grocery, guarantee the only thing you can't buy in here would be candy, soda, snacks, and groceries. So they're deceptive to the community, and they're dangerous because, as the mayor said, they basically attract the young people at an early age and try to get them hooked on drugs, which is the last thing we should be doing. So they're dangerous. And now, as the broader issue is the quality of life for the people of Staten Island. That's our job. Our job is to improve the quality of life, and over the last few years, these places have grown, spawned all over the island, and frankly all over the city, because really nothing could be done about it. About a couple of years ago, we started the conversations with the mayor, who did his best to get the state legislature to change the laws. It didn't happen the first time around, but it happened the second time around, and it would not have happened but for the efforts of Mayor Eric Adams. Sheriff Miranda behind us, Sheriff Miranda and his team, the Sheriff's Office, is the real deal. They have gone about the city with vigor, knowing the consequences of keeping these places open. So I want to publicly thank Sheriff Miranda for all his efforts, and the Police Commissioner Caban, because this doesn't happen without teamwork. And it doesn't happen without people working together to stand up for the good people who pay their taxes, want their kids to be safe, want their kids to go to school. You want to have to walk out of a church and 100 feet away, go into a store that sells cannabis. So we're trying to get this going. The mayor's also said that this is just the beginning. These places are like whack-a-mole. They shut them down once, they'll open 3 blocks away. We're going to stay on it, and I will say this publicly and loud and clear: this would not have happened. We would not be here but for the leadership of Mayor Eric Adams driving this and making this happen to the point in just a few months every store in Staten Island has been approached. So thank you on behalf of the people of Staten Island.
Thank you. I want to turn over to the Commissioner, who's really using the manpower of the police department to make this happen, and then we'll do a few questions. Commissioner?
Yep. I'm honored to be here, as the Borough President said, just part of the team. Talk about the leadership of our mayor. Since this administration began, I don't think there's been a better collaboration with all of our agencies working together to make sure that every New York City resident is happy. Make sure that when they do these complaints, that we're out there, we're hearing their complaints. But once again, the credit goes to Sheriff Miranda and the men and women on his team who are out here tirelessly doing the work. Over 3,400 illegal smoke shops in New York City, and they're pounding the pavement every single day. So I want to thank them for all their endeavors. And I also want to thank the men and women of my agency who go out there.
Thank you. Why don't we do a few questions before we go close down some shops?
What exactly?